Hello once again, YouTube. This is Meme Skull, and I'm back with yet another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. This time we have TGs or Tech Genus. Let's get started. For the main deck, we have 2 copies of TG Rocket Salamander. He is a Pyro level 1 fire monster, and he lets us tribute 1 TG monster to special summon 1 TG monster from deck with a different original name than the tributed monster. So he's like a combo enabler. If we control a machine TG monster, you can target 1 level 4 or lower TG monster in our graveyard and special summon it in defense position but negates effects. And we can only use each effect of this guy once per turn. We could either go into the machine synchro monsters or have that new card to allow us to make our TG monsters machines. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Screw Serpent. Self-explanatory. He brings back a guy from the graveyard when he's no more special summoned, and he's a level manipulator, which is always good in a synchro based deck. For the 1-ubs, we're playing 1 Drillfish, a free body, 1 Tank Grub. It's a tuner that can act as a non-tuner, and it gets us a token. And Gear Zombie, another free body, but this one's a tuner. Next, we're playing 2 packages. The Snake Eye package, we have Ash. This lets us add our Rocket Salamander. And then we're playing 2 copies of Diabellstar. It lets us set 1 Sinful Spoil spell and trap card from our deck. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Next, we're playing 3 copies of DDD Savant Kepler. This just searches out our Lamia, and that goes into an easy level 2 synchro. Now moving on to the hand traps, we have 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 Effect Failures, 2 Drolls, and 2 Nibs. Now onto the spells, we have 3 copies of Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils. It's a quick play spell card which we would set off with the Diabellstar, or we could play this if we have this in hand to add Diabellstar from our deck to our hand. And during the main phase, we could banish this card from our graveyard, target 1 Sinful Spoils spell and trap card that's banished or in our graveyard except Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, and place it onto the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. Next, we're playing 3 copies of TG Limiter Removal. Really good. This just lets us discard 1 card to add 2 TG monsters with different names from our deck to our hand. We can banish this card from our graveyard, then target 1 TG monster in our graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, or if we control a TG monster, a machine TG monster, we can add it to our hand instead. And we can only use 1 effect per turn and only once that turn of this card. So, yeah. Next, we're playing the 1 TG All Clear. This is the card that lets us, it gives us an additional normal summon of a TG monster, and it turns all our TG monsters into machines. And then also during our main phase, we could destroy 1 TG monster with a different name from our, oh wait, my bad, I misread that. Destroy 1 TG monster in our hand or field, and if we do, add 1 TG monster with a different name from our deck to our graveyard to our hand. We can only use that last effect of TG All Clear once per turn. Next, we're playing the 1-for-1 to get out our starter. Dark Contact with the Gates for our DD Engine, Original Sinful Spoil, Snake Eye. My bad, I forgot. We have this card as the one of. I completely forgot about this. This just lets us send one face-up card we control to the graveyard to special summon one level 1 fire monster from our hand or deck. So also another starter. You can banish this card from our graveyard, then target one Snake Eye or Bellstar monster in our grave. Add one level 1 fire monster from our deck to our hand, then place the targeted monster on the bottom of the deck. And we can only use one effect per turn and only once that turn. So, yeah. And for the last of the spells, we're playing 3 Crossout Designators because this is a combo heavy deck, along with one copy of Call by the Grave. For the traps, we're playing 4, 3 Infinite Impermanence, and the 1 TG Close, which is a counters trap, Omni Negate. It says when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated while we control a machine TG monster, negate the activation. If we do, destroy that card. If a Synchro Monsters is banished while this card is in your graveyard, we can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So, really good. Okay, now we're moving on to the extra deck. We're playing 2 of the new TG Over Dragnar. He's a dark level 5 Dragon Synchro effect monster. He's generic. He requires 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner monster. 1 or more non-tuner monsters. If this card is synchro summoned, we could special summon any number of TG monsters from our graveyard in defense position. Also, it locks us into TG monsters for the rest of the turn. You can only use this effect of TG Over Dragnar once per turn. If this card on the field is destroyed, we draw a card. So it's similar to Junk Speeder, except it works from the graveyard instead of from the deck. So it does require some setup, but you are going to have that setup by the time you get to this, because this deck goes really fast. Next, we're playing 2 copies of TG Star Guardian, a warrior synchro tuner effect monster, level 5 light. He is somewhat generic. He requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner TG monsters. So once per chain, during our opponent's main phase, we could quick effect. Immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. You can only use each of the following effects of TG Star Guardian once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can target 1 TG monster in your graveyard, add it to our hand, and during the main phase, you can special summon 1 TG monster from our hand. So yeah, it's pretty good. Next, we're playing 1 Hyper Librarian. It's our draw power, self-explanatory. Then we're playing 1 TG Mighty Striker. It's a level 2 Earth Warrior Synchro Tuner effect monster. It's also generic, where it requires 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner monster. Once per turn during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. You can only use each of the following effects of TG Mighty Striker once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can add 1 TG Spell and Trap card from our deck to our hand. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, we can send 1 TG card from our deck to the graveyard. So it's really useful for setup, and it's a Spell and Trap searcher for TG. It's really good. So we're playing 1 TG Blade Blaster. This is one of our machine synchro monsters, where he requires 1 tuner synchro monster and 1 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. When an opponent's spell and trap card is activated that targets this card, we can send 1 card from our hand to the graveyard to negate the effect. Once per opponent's turn, we could remove from play one TG monster from our graveyard to remove this face-up card on the field from play. During the next standby phase, we special summon this card if removed by this effect. Next we have Glaive Blaster, which combos very well with Blade Blaster. He is a level 12 machine synchro effect monster of the Earth typing. Earth attribute, my bad. He requires one tuner synchro monster and 2 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. He must be synchro summoned. Quick effect: you can target one monster on the field, special summon from the extra deck, banish it. You can use this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of non-tuner synchro monsters used as synchro materials for this card. So at the very least, you're going to be doing this twice. Yeah. Depends how many materials you put into it. But at the very least, you're going to be doing it twice. Once per turn, if a monster or monsters is banished face up, except during damage step, you can target one of them, special summon it to your field, ignoring its summoning conditions. So this could just bring us back our Blade Blaster or whatever we banished with the Blade Blaster. Or with Glaive Blaster, my bad. Okay. Next we're playing Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. Should be self-explanatory to lock out our opponent. TG Wonder Magician, again self-explanatory, pops a spell and trap card on the field and draws us a card if she's destroyed, and it just allows us to Excel Synchro. Really good. Next we're playing one copy of Baron de Fleur. Generic, level 10, really good card, so why not? Sticking to the theme of TGs, I just decided to play this Shooting Star Dragon TG EX. It's a really fun card in my opinion. Yeah, so, and plus I really want to play it, so just put it in here, because why not? And lastly, for the synchros, we're playing one Crimson Dragon. This just helps us. We go into this first, then into our Calamity, because this is what turbos it out. But yeah. And for the Link monsters, we're playing one Dark and one TG Trident Launcher. So that rounds up the whole deck. If you like the deck profile, I unfortunately don't have a side deck set up for this one, but again, like I said in my previous videos, the side deck can be whatever you want, and it just depends on the current state of the game. So you could put an evenly match if you want, or anything to help benefit your deck. It's 100% up to you. Yeah, I'm just happy that this deck this archetype got more support, and I'm looking forward to playing this deck in the future. So I'll see you all in the next video. If you have any suggestions on how I could better improve the deck, leave comments down below. If you like the video, leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe.